This is, without question, our best iPhone lineup ever. These are the best iPhones we've ever made. This is by far our best iPhone lineup ever.
I mean, at this point, these things basically write themselves. And maybe they actually do. But I suppose you can't give them too much grief about it because while Moore's Law is long dead, tech might be the most honest thing you can sell like this. Although, the best is such a relative term that if you're someone who, for example, puts a high value on having a very lightweight phone, that you wouldn't say that these are the best phones in that regard right now. But sure, I'll admit, if you value what the market as a whole so evidently values, that is, battery life and camera capabilities, it's accurate, if repetitive, truistic, and ultimately meaningless to reiterate every single year that this iPhone is the best iPhone, if largely because of the fact that it isn't last year's phone. This got me thinking a little bit, though, and just bear with me here. Because you know the expression, you're only as good as your last show? You know, the idea that you're only as good as the last thing you did? Like, when you start creating enough things, it becomes easy to get caught up in the idea that the thing you're currently working on is going to be the best thing you've ever done. That can be a big motivator, This new thing is going to be the best work I've ever put out. I'm reaching new heights. It's very idyllic, but also unhealthy. Because while sure, in life, you generally are trying to improve yourself and get better at whatever it is you're doing, it's a delusion to think that what you're currently working on is always going to be better than what you've done before. Granted, it can be a helpful delusion, but I don't think I have to explain how it can backfire. I've personally been trying to mitigate this mentality. Like, for me, while I was making my last video, the one where I just shared some music I've been listening to, did I think that it would become the best thing I've ever done? Not really. Sure, I thought it might be more accessible than my previous projects, but it was a totally different thing in my head. Something free from comparison. Sort of like apples and oranges, And while I far prefer eating apples to eating oranges, I also think that drinking orange juice is way better than drinking apple juice. Anyway, what the hell am I getting at here? Well, as a recovering perfectionist, I can smell the egoistic, sweaty stench of always dreaming the next thing will be your opus. And as an observer of our economic system and of technology, I can't help but think that, just like Moore's Law proved unsustainable, so too will the endless treadmill of ever-expanding expectations. The yearly iPhone grind will, by force, perpetually be sold as the best thing ever. Creativity itself, though, is actually one of the most inefficient endeavors there is, and therefore doesn't have to be burdened by such consistent, obvious promises. Which is what makes it so special. Anyway, I just thought I would get that off my chest. I'd love to hear what you all think about any of this in the comments below. And please don't forget to like and subscribe, if only because I think the next video will be much better than this one. See you next time.